years before. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're at 6. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Agoura Hills City Council meeting of April 22nd, 2026. At this time, please silence all cell phones and other electronic devices. If you wish to speak or submit a written comment, please complete a comment card for each agenda item and submit to the city clerk prior to the public comment portion of this item. I will now call this meeting to order. We're starting with our land acknowledgement, and we acknowledge that the city occupy land that was originally and still inhabited by the Chumash Nation. Descendants of Chumash still remain, and we honor and pay our respects to their elders and various groups that make up the past, present, and future as we continue their stewardship of our lands and waters. We have a responsibility and a commitment to elevate the stories, culture, and community of the original inhabitants of Agoura Hills. I will now move on for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I am going to defer to Captain Carr. Can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight? Thank you, Captain. I'll now defer to the city clerk for roll call.
Thank you. Good evening. Councilmember Anderson? Here. Councilmember Anstead?
Here.
Councilmember Sylvester?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein-Lopez?
Here.
Mayor Wolf?
Present.
Mayor Wolf, you have a quorum.
Thank you. I will now defer to City Attorney Lee for report of closed session.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Direction was given to staff. No reportable action was taken this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're moving on to the approval of the agenda. And this evening, under intergovernmental reports, we will be adding an update from Captain Carr with the Lost Hills Sheriff Station. So will the makers of the motion in a second to approve the agenda state your name?
Councilmember Sylvester so moves.
Councilmember Anstead seconds.
I'll now defer to the city clerk for roll call.
Councilmember Anderson?
Aye.
Councilmember Anstead?
Aye.
Councilmember Sylvester?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein-Lopez?
Aye.
Mayor Wolf?
Aye.
Mayor Wolf, you have approval 5-0.
Wonderful. We're now moving on to the fun part, and I'm moving locations. Give me 1 second. That's okay. And we have right here. So I am thrilled to announce our business of the month for April, which is Rabbits and Oaks, and we're so thrilled to have Hillary Linderman here. So Hillary, do you mind coming up? So I'm going to read a little statement, and then I'm going to turn the mic over to you. So tonight it is my absolute honor to recognize our April business of the month, Rabbits and Oaks. Rabbits and Oaks is a creative vision of local artist and maker Hillary Linderman, whose handcrafted work has become a beloved part of our community's creative fabric. What makes Hillary's story especially special is that her business doesn't live behind a single storefront. It lives throughout Agoura Hills itself. You'll find her work nestled in the nook at Sunrose, alongside carefully curated pieces at Cornell Winery, and she is a consistent presence at community events across Agoura Hills and the region, bringing her craft directly to the people. That kind of presence, showing up and setting up roots in multiple corners of our community, is exactly the kind of spirit we celebrate in Agoura Hills. Hillary, on behalf of the city, our Honorable City Council, and the entire community, thank you for bringing your creativity, your craft, and your heart to everything you do. We are proud to call Rabbits and Oaks an Agoura Hills business, and we are so glad you are here. So let's give her a big round of applause. And I'm going to turn it over to you before we take our photo.
First of all, thank you guys so much. Thank you. It's like very heartwarming to walk in here when just like maybe 2 years ago I could have walked in here and like maybe not recognized these like warm, loving faces I see in front of me today. So it feels really good to like walk in here today and like know so many of you on like such a like lovely, intimate business like community level. So thank you for all the warm smiles and the support you guys have always given me. I said this to Jeremy the other day when we were at Sunrose, but I definitely wouldn't be in the place I am today if it wasn't for so many of you. So I appreciate your continued support. When I started this, I remember like asking ChatGPT, I was like, do you think it's okay to put like a city name on a sweatshirt? Is there any legal ramifications? And he was like, oh, you're clear, like go for it. I was like, okay. But I think that was like my biggest fear was like, are they gonna like it? Are they gonna think it's weird, you know? And you guys have been nothing but like so warm and so supportive. And today is just the topping on it all. So thank you guys so much. I hope to continue to shine a light on this beautiful place that I call home.
Yeah. I know that our council would like to provide some comments, so I'll turn it over to Mayor Pro Tem Deborah Klein Lopez.
I just want to say that I have an adult daughter who does not live in Agoura Hills anymore. She lives on the East Coast. She lives on the complete other side of the country. And I went to visit her last week, and her house is filled with your beautiful work. She has posters on the wall, she has sweatshirts, they've got caps, and it warms my heart because it is quite literally her connection to home. And so I just want to thank you as not only someone who grew up here and a resident and someone who also benefits from your beautiful work, but you are quite literally keeping the connections going for people through your vision and through your beautiful artwork. So I just want to say thank you, and I wanted you to know that your vision is felt far beyond the borders of Agoura Hills. So thank you.
Well said. Councilmember Anderson?
I will just add to that. We discovered your art at the Reyes Adobe Days. I've got one of your posters up on my wall. We've got T-shirts, and I'm a big cook, and my pumpkins are also cooks, and we love aprons. Yeah. So, listen, I hope I don't get in trouble, but she designed an apron for us. And it's an Agoura Hills apron, and it's got this hoogie, what's the Swedish thing? There's a theme to it. And so my pumpkins also, one up in Davis and another over in Santa Clarita, and my mother-in-law, we bought lots of them as gifts, and it warms our heart too, so thank you.
Councilmember Sylvester?
My turn. We still have to go down to the bookseller downstairs because I want to show you all those beautiful prints which would make wonderful calendars and note cards. So we've got more to come. And you owe me a visor.
I just want to say thank you very much for kind of helping build our community, and this is something that we as a city need to continue to do with more local businesses and partner with local businesses. Thank you very much.
Well said, council members. And on Sunday, I was wearing that Rabbits and Oaks hat, and I saw Supervisor Lindsay Horvath, and she goes, "I love your hat." And I said, "Oh, I know exactly what to get you." And then the next day, I was at my office, and my boss was using one of your mugs, and so you're everywhere. So thank you for all you do, and we'll get the photo. I am now calling up our Deputy Director of Public Works, Kelly Fisher, and Director of Community Services, Amy Brink. We have a very special presentation this evening to honor Arbor Day, one of my favorite days of the year. It started in 1872, where the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees. This holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and for the third consecutive year, the National Arbor Day Foundation has recognized Agoura Hills as a Tree City USA designee. Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, we'll clap on that. As we all know and our community knows, trees can be a solution to so many things, from combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoils, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife, especially our oak trees, which are the most biodiverse trees in North America. And trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other products. Trees in our city increase property tax values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. Trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. The maintenance and preservation of our urban forests will benefit generations of Agoura Hills residents. Aligned with the City Council's commitment to preserving our urban forests, trees will be planted in various locations throughout the community to celebrate Arbor Day. It is with pleasure that I, as mayor, and on behalf of the entire City Council, do hereby proclaim April 22nd, 2026 as Arbor Day in the city of Agoura Hills, California. And we urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands, and urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of future generations. So, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor Wolf. And thank you for everybody being here. I think today, what's special about Arbor Day this year is you're going to see through Community Service Days, the Department of Public Works and the Department of Community Services joined forces, and we actually pulled together Community Service Days and Arbor Day. So this Saturday, which we'll talk about later, at Forest Cove Park, we're going to be doing a lot of replanting, removing some of the non-native, not drought-tolerant plants, replacing it with plants that are native and actually drought tolerant that are going to add to our urban forest. So I would like to let Kelly Fisher, our Deputy Director, say a few words. But the effort that you're going to see out there this weekend could only have happened with one of our partners who we are going to recognize tonight.
Thanks. Not much more to add to that. I want to thank Joshua over here, who runs the Tree City USA for us. Also Woody Woodworth, who runs kind of our tree maintenance program. Yeah, it's a big day. Earth Day today, Arbor Day Friday, Saturday, Community Service Days, and in between that, we have a birthday tomorrow. Mayor Pro Tem Klein Lopez, so happy birthday. It's a big week for us here. So let's get to the important person.
Let's do it. So like I said, Arbor Day, Community Service Days, and this is Earth Week could not be possible without partners like West Coast Arborists. And we have somebody here tonight on behalf of West Coast Arborists that we would like to pull them up. Do you want to pull them up?
Yeah. So I would love to call up area manager for West Coast Arborists, Lorenzo Perez, if you could come on up. So, on behalf of the City of Agoura Hills, it is my true honor to recognize West Coast Arborists for their outstanding contributions to our Arbor Day and Community Service Day celebrations, as well as their ongoing efforts to strengthen the resilience of our urban forest. For nearly 15 years, West Coast Arborists has been a trusted partner to our city. They have supported us since the first Arbor Day planting 3 years ago. I was there at Sumac Park, helping to establish a tradition that continues to grow stronger each year. Their expertise, care, and dedication have played such an important role in cultivating a healthy and vibrant tree canopy that focuses on native tree species that have so many benefits. Beyond their professional services, West Coast Arborists has consistently demonstrated generosity and a very strong sense of community. Their willingness to contribute both time and resources to our community service days reflects their deep commitment not only to the landscape, but to our city of Agoura Hills. Because of partners like West Coast Arborists, our city is greener, healthier, more resilient, and more connected. We are truly grateful for your dedication. We're so happy to honor you today. And I will turn it over to you to see if you'd like to say some words.
Well, it's really a pleasure for me to be here. And I'm really here speaking, but I just want to thank everybody here and, the opportunity to be part of this community. And I always say, we are an extension of the city. We're nothing But, we'd like to, again, thank for the opportunity they gave us to be part of this whole, beautifying the city. It's amazing, this is amazing city, amazing group of work with, and just want to thank you guys. This is awesome.
Fantastic. So we check on Business of the Month, recognizing Arbor Day. We are now moving on to our Intergovernmental Special Purpose Committee and departmental reports. I am now thrilled to call up Lost Hills Sheriff Station Captain Carr. And you, what was that? And you guys, if you want to leave, you can leave. No pressure. Sorry, Captain.
He recites an excellent Pledge of Allegiance, by the way. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
Well, good evening, Mayor Wolf, honorable members of the City Council, and happy birthday, Mayor Pro Tem Klein Lopez. I come before you this evening, to stop by and give some station updates and to address just a couple of things that might be of noteworthy in the community that they may have concerns about. So I'll start out with the station updates. I have good news on our patrol staffing side. When I took command of the station, we had, I think, 36 patrol staffing vacancies. We're now down to 22. And the beginning of May, I'll be welcoming 3 new patrol trainees to our station. So very exciting. We are doing good. We're making slow but steady gains on our staffing. May 2nd from 9 a.m. to noon is our open house. Public is invited. I hope to see everybody there. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have the helicopter, of course, Special Enforcement Bureau, and a number of different vendors there at the station. So we always have a good time. So please come see us. Everybody is welcome. The station is going to Zone 0 landscaping. You might have noticed we had the tractor out there ripping up the landscaping. We're also going to be taking all the plants from the front of the station building. So we'll be in compliance with Zone 0, hopefully by midsummer, somewhere in there. It does take a little bit of time to re-irrigate and re-landscape and things like that. So we're looking forward to taking part in that and making the station safer. The beginning of June, we are getting solar all over our staffing parking lot. So there will be some construction going on. It's going to happen in phases. It shouldn't inhibit any traffic other than some minor backing in and backing out of equipment and stuff from the station. None of our beautiful oak trees will be touched during that. So all of our beautiful oak trees surrounding the station are safe. Let's see, we are working on a joint e-bike education forum for all of the cities to get everybody together. We're hoping to do that this summer in collaboration with our J team and our traffic office, as well as some help from the cities. It's important. We did do an e-bike operation, as everyone has heard, and we will continue to do those. There's a lot of concerning things going on with e-bikes lately. There's another unfortunate case that's made the news out of Orange County, where an e-bike operator ended up hospitalizing a member of our elderly community. So that was down in Orange County, and there's court cases beyond that. Our goal is to avoid any of that in our jurisdiction. So education and enforcement have to go hand in hand. Our goal is not to make our children part of the justice system. Our goal is to educate them. That is why when we do cite, parents are called to the scene. They're notified what happened and why their child is being cited. But ultimately, we won't want this to grow into a very dangerous situation, because I've already gotten reports of a lot of dangerous behaviors with students on e-bikes. or juveniles on e-bikes. So with this collaborative education effort, along with continued enforcement, I believe that, we will make an impact and hopefully make things safer for our younger community. And so going to the crime report, year over year for the month, we're down 12.5%. Our 5-year average is down 39%. So I always love it when I have good news on that front to report, and so we continue. Yes, ma'am. Yes. So year over year, we're down 12.5%. Our 5-year percentage change is down 39%. So like I said, always good when we can report on very good statistics. This year is the first time in 4 years we will have a summer crime team as well. So there'll be an additional force multiplier out there, as we do expect a lot of people coming in to avail themselves of our local beaches and restaurants and businesses. So we will have additional patrol out there as well. And then now for the topic that, I was asked to speak on this evening, and that's the ALPR cameras. I know some members of the council may have gotten some citizen concerns regarding recent news about the ALPR cameras, especially very local to us. So automated license plate reader cameras. So most people use the brand Flock, which is what Agoura Hills avails itself of, and all of our jurisdictions use the Flock brand, including our county areas. So I wanted to speak to you about particularly what was going on with that, because there were reports that some jurisdictions had information shared nationally. We met with Flock, our detective lieutenant, as well as our detective sergeant, and I also did an introduction with them, and they assured us that none of our information was shared nationally. What had happened was, what was explained to me is on the interface there was an option that a local jurisdiction could share this information gathered nationally. We never, I'm not quite sure what happened with the other sharing, but the California law states that we are not to share that information nationally unless we have a valid judicial court order, such as a warrant or subpoena. We've obviously been presented with no such items, and we did not share any information. They said none of our information was shared. Should this information change, I will come before council again and explain that update. But as of right now, we are status quo. They did an update on their software, so that sharing information is no longer available. There's no option for us to share that information without a valid court order, which I believe there's a process to go through with Flock. I just wanted to explain some of the importance of the Flock cameras. We've been able, the Flock cameras are really a force multiplier. Some people wonder about privacy and things like that. And I can put things into context. If somebody's filming on the side of the road and a bunch of cars pass by with the drivers and all the license plates are caught and it's a public place, that's completely legal. So, when we use this Flock information, first of all, not everybody in our station has access to the Flock information. It's really limited to detectives, supervisors, and the personnel that are working our real-time watch center. And the reason they have this access to this information is for investigatory purposes. The personnel working the real-time watch center will get alerts on plates that might be, come back stolen, or they have a warrant attached to them, and they're able to disseminate that information to our patrol personnel. So those are the people at our station that have access to the Flock information. It's not every deputy working patrol driving by can't just pull up the Flock system on their mobile computer. So I did want to explain that it's really a need-to-know access and not overall access where they're looking at every car that went through an intersection. So I want to put the public at ease in that regard. Again, these Flock cameras are also, or these ALPR cameras are a force multiplier for us. They significantly reduce the time it takes to investigate crimes, especially, if we're relying on things like Ring doorbell camera videos or other, surveillance footage from various houses or HOAs. These are really a force multiplier, and they significantly reduce those times that we take to investigate. For instance, we had that string of recent robberies back in January, and those may have gone unsolved for some time if we didn't have the ALPR cameras. There was recent burglaries in this area, well, not recent, but last year, and ALPR cameras were paramount in solving those as well. So I just want to let the council know that this information is used by us responsibly, legally, in compliance with the law. And with that, I will take any questions.
Are there any questions from Councilmember Anstead?
I appreciate your report. I wanted to ask you about, first I want to ask you about the J-team. On the education side, do they have do they meet with students in classrooms during this regular semester, and can they add the education on the e-bikes to that agenda going forward? Can that be something they do?
So the J-team does have regular, I believe they attend assemblies and give information in that regard, and they can add information about the e-bikes, that as well. The purpose of this is just to do a very big, Simi Valley had done one of these before, and they found it very beneficial. So we're trying to emulate that kind of an education program. But yes, we can integrate that into our introduction during the assemblies in regular school hours.
That would be great.
Yes, sir.
That's great. Councilmember Sylvester?
Yes, thank you for the report. Can you remind our residents how they can register their Ring cameras with you and how you use that information?
Yes, the Ring cameras can be registered with us through our FUSA system. You'll contact our detective bureau, and they will be able to give you a QR code in order to register those cameras. And we post it regularly on our social media, but I can definitely have an updated post sent out so people have that information again, so they don't have to scroll through and find it.
And can you remind our public too that you can't access it until they
Oh, correct, yes. If you register your cameras, the information can only be accessed when we go to your house and ask you for it. We can't access it in real time. It's just letting us know that you do have cameras, and that way we know you may have caught something that might have happened in your neighborhood that's of importance to the investigation. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein Lopez?
Thank you. I have been telling residents this about the ALPRs, the flock cameras, so I'm very happy to hear that I'm telling them the right information. That is what we understood when we approved the installation of the flock cameras. That is what we were promised, that this information would not be shared in those kinds of ways. So thank you for that. My question is actually back to the crime stats. What do you, just in very general terms, what do you attribute the pretty significant drop in incidents? What is it really? Is it related, do you think, to the deterrence that the cameras have, or is it your real-time crime center? What do you, just in general, think is the cause of that drop?
Some of it, I believe, has to do with one, the real-time crime center, again, another force multiplier that was added to our station. Some of it too is because we're able to make arrests a lot quicker. When you arrest one burglary crew, you solve a lot of current burglaries and stop a lot of future burglaries. So, one of the biggest Part 1 crime stats we have in any of our jurisdictions is residential burglaries. So, in that regard, I think that one is the Real-Time Watch Center helps us track vehicles quickly, especially if a crime just occurred. There's somebody there monitoring it. We have it staffed full-time at this point. And also in addition, the ALPR cameras also play a very big role in that. And our deputies too have been doing multiple patrol checks, and part of that is presence. If people see the cops around, they're more likely to obey the law. And it doesn't mean that they're pulling people over, nonstop, but just driving around a neighborhood, driving into a shopping center, doing a patrol check, that presence helps deter crime a lot.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Member Anderson?
Actually, I don't have any questions, just gratitude for the service that you and your fellow deputies provide, and especially with the e-bikes. I live very close to Forest Cove Park and walk around there a lot. And there was a night that I saw one of your deputies just out there talking to those kids, and that was a sign to me that you guys are being proactive and helping to educate and help knock on something and prevent something like what happened in Orange County from happening here.
Yes. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I also want to just thank you and the deputies. It's noticeable actually in our neighborhoods now that there is more patrols. I mean, I've noticed it, being out there, and I think with additional deputies that you got, I appreciate that additional presence. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have one very quick question regarding that 12.5 statistic and down 37%. Is that station-wide for your service area or Agoura Hills specific?
This is Agoura Hills specific.
Oh, wow.
So I just pulled the stats for Agoura. We're down across the board, with the exception of some areas of Malibu that were closed off for a significant period of time last year. But other than that, across the board, we're down in our crime statistics.
So there's a 12.5% decrease in Agoura Hills?
Year over year, yes, sir.
Wow. And then echoing the comments, thank you for the partnership with you, your deputies, and the station. It's very important, and we're so appreciative of the work you do.
Thank you, Mayor Wolf. Thank you, council members.
Thank you, Captain.
Do you want me to put that?
Moving on to our next intergovernmental report, I'm going to defer to Councilmember Sylvester for an update on the COG, which was a very long, interesting, jam-packed meeting.
We had quite a few things. Our COG meeting was yesterday morning. The first thing is we had a request to oppose the expansion of the Metro Board to include all future 9 members of LA County supervisors. The letter was proposed. I abstained from the vote because our council has not discussed it. So I didn't want to vote on behalf of everybody. So everybody else voted in favor of the letter, so the letter is going to go out. I don't know if you want to put this on a future agenda item or you just want to let it go through because the letter's going anyway. So that's something that you can decide. And then LA County is looking into the possible creation of a Santa Monica Mountains Regional Wildfire Mitigation Authority. There's already one in Marin County, and they work on things like vegetation management, detection, alert, and evacuation, finding grants, public outreach and education, and defensible space and home hardening. And the way they do this is with a parcel tax, 10 cents per square foot, and that's a 10-year parcel tax, which would raise, they say, $19.3 million annually just for this specific program. So that's something that is being discussed, and I'm sure it'll be coming before us as well. The fiber optic project, which we attended the groundbreaking of, they're going to start construction starting in Westlake Village the first week in May. Then Megan Currier from the LA County Fire reported they had a Topanga fire drill last weekend, and she said, I asked how many residents there are in the area of Topanga, and she said there are 3,100 households in Topanga, and of that, 100 participated. But she said those were all people that had newly moved into the area, so it was good that they got the word out. But it's not a great turnout if you think 3,100 and then 100. So I know we talked about the possibility of doing it here, but again, if you get such a low turnout, the cost of putting on something like this, I don't know if it's justified. There is going to be a preparedness event at King Gillette Ranch on May the 4th with the fire department. And then also this one, which I'd like to get out, if we can push out on our social media to Old Agoura residents, there's going to be an animal evacuation workshop on May the 12th. So I think that'll be useful for those in our city that have animals. Stephanie Mullen from the SCE reported that they are supporting what's called BACA, another acronym for you, Kate, Building an Affordable California. And they're thinking of putting this initiative on the ballot. It aims to accelerate construction of essential projects, including housing, clean energy, water infrastructure, public safety facilities. by setting stricter permitting timelines and streaming environmental review processes. And then my big report is that tomorrow in Calabasas at the community center, the Board of Forestry Zone 0 committee is going to be meeting in person, and I encourage any of our residents that are available to go. It's starting at 1 p.m. You can also attend online. They have put forward new Zone 0 regulations. We're very excited because they have finally responded to all the requests coming in from Southern California. They're changing how Zone 0 is laid out. So the first 5 feet has now been broken down incrementally. So the first foot from the building, the base of the building, has to be clear of everything. And then vegetation is allowed depending on where your eave line falls. So if your roof eave is only 12 inches from the building, then the next, foot out to the end of the 5 feet of Zone 0, you're going to be allowed select vegetation and trees. So we're very happy about that. But then some people say, well, as long as you clear out all the dead and dying vegetation, what's the difference between a plant being 12 inches or 6 inches from the building if it's well maintained? So that's another argument that's going to be coming forth. But I think we've made huge progress. So I'm very happy about that. And by the way, there'll be a 2-year period for clearing out all the dead and dying vegetation and firewood and things like that. And then there'll be a 5-year period for everything else to be brought under regulations. And this will all be determined by our local fire stations, not by CAL FIRE. That's all.
Wow. Thank you, council members.
Any questions?
Yeah. Yeah. Councilmember Anstead, question.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to ask, was there, I don't know if you can inform the public or if the city manager can, concerning there was a controlled burn this week in
Yes,
Santa
sorry, I
Monica
had that on here too, and I forgot to tell you. So yes, there was a controlled burn in the Santa Monica Mountains. It was very successful, and they're hoping to do a second one when the weather is favorable. And they'll give up. They can only plan 72 hours ahead because that's as far as they can predict the weather. But they're hoping to do another one.
Any other questions or comments regarding the council report? Mayor MPT?
I just want to thank our former mayor when all of the Zone 0 issues were coming to a head, and Councilmember Sylvester, because this, we're cautiously optimistic on the Zone 0 regulations that have been adjusted a little bit, but it is quite literally due to the very active participation of some of our leaders in Southern California, including Councilmember Sylvester, people from Mandeville Canyon, people who live in the Santa Monica Mountains, and there's just, this would not have happened without you. And so I don't think we can overstate how much work you've put into this and the results that are coming from that work. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I'm just one of many.
I wish that I didn't call on you because I wanted to say that. To thank Councilmember Sylvester for her tireless efforts on that. And I actually know that your efforts echoed throughout the state and were heard at every level. And it's written all over these new updates that I think are more nimble and more realistic. And so thank you so much for your work on that on behalf of the city of Agoura Hills and the residents and the council. Seeing no more questions on that item, we'll now move on to the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy Advisory Update by Councilmember Anderson.
Before I get to that, though, I just want to echo the gratitude, Councilmember Sylvester, for all of your advocacy and your tireless efforts. You have been more present than I've got to imagine you are more present than any other city council member across the state of California, and we're grateful. And I get to be the lucky one to serve on a committee with you, which is lots and lots of fun. So thank you for all of your work. Okay, so Santa Monica Mountain Conservancy, I've got 3 updates. So one is that the state park is, with funding from the Santa Monica Mountain Conservancy, putting together a wildfire resiliency website. And the idea for this website is that it could then link to lots of other websites and help be a resource for all of our residents and businesses and cities around all things wildfire resilience and protection. And I've sent that, they're doing a survey to gather priorities from folks. So I've sent it out to the community brigade, to our city staff, to our FireWise, our fire safe councils, and I'm excited about the development of this. I think that we can't have enough information about this, and I think that there are lots and lots of questions. My second update is not a happy update. My second update is that the city of Malibu is suing the Santa Monica Mountain Conservancy. So I am going to report the facts and just the facts. So the city of Malibu, reading from their official press release, filed a civil complaint in Los Angeles County Superior Court against the Santa Monica Mountain Conservancy and the Mountain Recreation Conservancy Authority, seeking to establish the city's ownership of public trails and trail easements within the city's borders, including along Murphy Way and Winding Way, to address a long-documented pattern of unsafe and inadequate trail management by the MRCA. Again, that's the City of Malibu's press release. The Santa Monica Mountain Conservancy released a statement that the Santa Monica Mountain Conservancy is a proud steward of all its trails and open spaces that serve the 10 million residents of Los Angeles and Ventura County, and has worked diligently with its state, federal, and local government neighbors to provide safe and open access. This lawsuit by the City of Malibu attempts to assert ownership over the state-owned land. The Santa Monica Mountain Conservancy will vigorously defend and protect the public access rights of all Californians to these lands and trails that state taxpayers own and have a right to use. And then just continuing in the facts and just the facts, there were a number of folks who spoke up in public comment about the importance both of just access to the beach, access to the trails, and then, super disturbingly, a number of folks of color reporting that when they had visited the beaches, that they were harassed by folks and felt very unwelcome at those beaches. So this is all very new. The Conservancy had a closed session that only Conservancy members are part of, and the city has a seat on the advisory council, so I'm an advisory council member, so I wasn't privy to what happened in that closed session, so certainly much more to come. And then I've got a mountain lion report from our National Park Service. So apparently, as you guys all know, we tag our mountain lions, we tag our little cubs, and they had a group of volunteers out, and of course with rangers too, out tagging, and they were out there one night, and this tiny little kitten came running to, mountain lion kitten, by the way, like not cat, right? This tiny little mountain lion kitten came running to them, and they put it back, but they knew that something must be wrong. And so they watched it, and they came back out the next night, and it came out one more night, it came out again, and the park ranger couldn't remember if there was a third night of this or if they took it on the second night, but they knew that something must have been happening, and they knew the mom, and they were aware that the mom had not been coming back, so there was something that had happened. So they took this little mountain lion cub in, and the vet took a look, and the poor little thing's tummy was just entirely empty. So if they had not taken it, that poor little mountain lion cub would have starved. They apparently have a volunteer with a plane who then took that mountain lion cub up to somewhere in Northern California where they've been able to pair it with a mom. If I were on social media, apparently I would know about this because it's been all the rage. I think the little cub's name is Crimson, and people are very, very excited. So Crimson is now safe. Of course, we never want to be taking wildlife out of the wildlands where they are, but this was a circumstance where that little cub would not have survived. And so it was very exciting to see that we are being proactive in saving this tiny little mountain lion cub. And that's my report.
Wow. Any questions? Well, what a report. I laughed, I cried, all the emotions. the whole range there. Thank you for that report and the work you do on the Conservancy. It's so important. Moving on to public comments. This section is reserved for individuals wishing to speak on items not listed on the agenda that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. If you have materials to distribute to the Council, please do not approach the dais. Instead, provide them to the City Clerk for distribution on your behalf. Public testimony is limited to 3 minutes per speaker, and the speaker's time may not be transferred to another speaker. Individuals addressing the Council shall refrain from disorderly conduct that disrupts or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting. I will now defer to the City Clerk for public comment.
Thank you. We did receive one written correspondence from Ben Suber, Agoura Hills, and that was distributed and will be part of the record. We do not have any speaker cards.
Thank you, I apologize. Moving on to the consent calendar. This section is reserved for persons wishing to speak on items on the consent calendar. I will now defer to the city clerk for public comment.
Thank you. We did not receive any written correspondence. We do have one speaker on item number 5, Matthew Silver.
Thank you. If you can please come up to the podium. When your time begins, the green light will start. Go from there.
Hello, good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council, Mr. Hamburger, staff. As you can see, we're both Matthew Silver, just kidding. My name is Matt Silver, this is my colleague.
Yes, I'm Lauren Brown.
We're from Civica Law Group. We are here on your consent calendar actually tonight. So what a nice opportunity to be able to meet you. Civica is Latin for, you probably guessed, civic. Our firm of 25 is dedicated exclusively to civic work, serving cities. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. My dad's a city manager, or was, and so I appreciate actually seeing the captain and presumably his daughter here, because I remember doing that as a kid. So it's really an honor to have been selected by your staff to be presented to you for potentially appointment as your city prosecutor today. I do want to tip my theoretical hat to staff here. It's been a pleasure working with you. Michelle, thank you for coordinating everything. We really appreciate you. Our firm was started to serve cities strictly in code enforcement. We do that, and we defend cities when they get sued. We don't represent private entities because we work with cities, and we believe in the good that local government does. I'm the managing partner and the founder. I started this firm. Lauren is one of our supervising attorneys. Like I said, there's about 25 of us. My wife is the firm administrator. We're a family-run operation. So we're all in on this. And we're all in on cities. Our job, we work with about 6 dozen cities around the state. We're in Orange County. We're actually where that bike incident occurred, unfortunately. And we really believe in the good of protecting communities, and we can see that there's a lot of great things going on in Agoura Hills. We're honored to work with the Sheriff's Department and several other LA counties that we have the pleasure of serving. A lot of the stuff that's been mentioned here today, we do on a regular basis. Very happy to do. By the way, happy birthday. So it's a pleasure to be here. We thank you so much for the opportunity to be considered and the honor to potentially work with your staff and you to serve your community. Lauren, did I miss anything?
I don't believe so. Thank you very much.
And we're happy to answer any questions or any other information you'd like.
We can't do back and forth because of public comment, but we're so appreciative that you came out tonight, and very appreciative.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, appreciation is returned. Yeah.
Can't go back and forth, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
With that, and thank you again for coming out, are there any questions from the City Council on the consent calendar?
May I make a comment on the consent calendar? I just want to comment that we recently passed an e-bike ordinance, which we're very proud of. It's very important to us in Agoura Hills that our kids and our parents and any e-bike riders get educated, and one of the options in that ordinance is for the prosecutor to allow for education, and that's something that we really want to see a lot of here in Agoura Hills.
Thank you. So, seeing no other questions on the consent calendar, I will now call for a motion and a second to adopt the consent calendar. Will the maker of the motion and the second please state your name?
City Councilman Chris Anstad makes a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Councilmember Anderson seconds.
I will now defer to Kimberly for roll call.
Councilmember Anderson?
Aye.
Councilmember Anstad?
Aye.
Councilmember Sylvester?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein Lopez?
Aye.
Mayor Wolf?
Aye.
Mayor Wolf, you have approval 5-0.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Moving on to council and staff comments. Amy, are there any comments from staff?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Wolf. 2 things really quick. On the tails of what Councilmember Anderson mentioned. The e-bike ordinance was on the consent calendar tonight. I want to assure the council that we will see an education outreach and push before the end of the school year at your wish a couple meetings ago. So I say stay tuned for details with that. And then lastly, I want to mention that Saturday, April 25th, 9 a.m., we're meeting at Chumash Park for Community Service Days. We have a very, very robust list of projects this year. We're going to be staining the equestrian arena, the driver trail. We're picking up trash at Chumash. We've got a huge planting and cleanup project happening at Forest Cove, and we're even going to help clean up some of the Lakeland Arrow medians, picking up trash around the area. So it's not too late to sign up. If you visit our website, the QR code is there. But who better to tell us a little bit about it than our chair of Community Service Days, Ben Suber. He could not be here tonight, and he actually, if you remember, really usually gives us a very colorful plea to join and to sign up. So I would like to turn it over to Romero, and he's going to give us a message that Ben sent in virtually because he couldn't be here tonight.
Hi everybody, my name is Ben Suber. You may know me as the walking billboard from Concerts in the Park every August for creek cleanup. Well, guess what? The walking billboard is at it again for Community Service Days coming up on Saturday. That's right, Saturday, April 25th. And it's going to be at multiple locations. We have tree plantings planned for Forest Cove Park. We also have the famous rail statings right on these rails here at Old Agoura Park and on Driver Avenue. And don't forget, we've also got trash pickup also located at Lakeland Arrow and at Chumash Park. If you want details, scan me today or go to the City of Agoura Hills website to sign up. We have over 100 volunteers signed up and plenty more to go. So I hope to see you on April 25th. That's right, you on Saturday, April 25th at Chumash Park at 9 a.m. And thank you for helping keep the city beautiful, and I hope you have a most fantastic week ahead.
Thank you, Ben Suber. And I do want to thank Councilmember Sylvester for wearing her Community Service Days t-shirt tonight. Everybody gets a free one if you sign up. And then lastly, I do want to say thank you to Deputy Public Works Director Kelly Fisher, Brian Woodworth, Nick Newkirk, Helpa Josh Keck. It has been a team effort. This is a very robust Community Service Days, and it is literally taking a village to put this event on. So thank you very much.
You forgot something tomorrow.
And tomorrow we are going to be celebrating, thank you, Council Member, we are hosting the annual Student Art Show up at the Agoura Hills Recreation and Event Center. It starts at 5 o'clock. We had over 130 or 140 submissions from juniors and seniors at high schools across the Conejo Valley. It's a true collaboration with the school districts and with the local art teachers. Cultural Arts Council will be up there. There'll probably be 200 or 300 people in attendance, parents and families watching their children and students actually win awards for these submissions. It's an amazing art show. It will be on display for the next few weeks. So during our normal business hours, if you get an opportunity to come check it out, I say go check it out. So thank you for reminding me.
Thank you, Amy. Are there any other comments from staff? Seeing none, are there any comments from City Council?
Are we going to sing?
Well, I do want to acknowledge there's also Councilmember Ansted's birthday on the 19th, so we have 2 birthdays. So it might be worth singing. So no other comments from council, because I have a few. I do want to acknowledge Ben Suber. He was also selected as our inaugural Volunteer of the Month. So we're going to start doing that, selecting different volunteers. So Ben was selected as the Volunteer of the Month. Community Service Days, please, we still need more people to sign up. We need more volunteers, so use social media outlets, council members to share and to the public. And today I attended a press conference for the Wildlife Corridor where it was announced that December 2nd is their target date for ribbon cutting. So that's, fingers crossed, the ribbon will be cut on December 2nd. So that was very exciting to get that update. With that, I'll now move to adjournment. The second goal-setting workshop is scheduled for for 4 p.m., followed by the regular city council meeting scheduled for 6 p.m. on Wednesday, May 13th, 2026, in the council chambers of the Civic Center located at 30001 Ladyface Court, Agoura Hills, California. This meeting is now adjourned.